I'm Carol Angela Davis. Thank you for joining me. This is your reality news check. It is the 21st of December. Getting close, folks. We're going to begin with your headlines. Congress, as you know, is on vacay. And, of course, we're left holding the bag, as usual. Plus, Wall Street has done it again, folks. There's nothing beats pure American greed. I'll tell you about it. Also today, wait till you hear about bankruptcy in Ireland. And BP, you know BP, the big oil company, well, they're double talking again, as they always do with our money. Then some bizarre crimes. How about the death of a model, the suicide of a groom, yes, and mom stabbed son to death. Oh, yeah, that and more. We'll tell you all about it. Plus, in sports, he's running for the U.S. Senate. Wait till you hear this. We'll begin with your stories. Let's talk about 160 million Americans in Congress, folks. 160 million American paychecks are at stake, and they have gone on vacay. That's right, folks. Congress, they've gone home. They're home with their families, shopping, doing what people do when they have substantial paychecks and benefits, okay? We've got less than 2 weeks before the payroll tax cut expires, and these folks are home shopping. It's just unbelievable. Nice work, folks, if you can get it, okay? Now, the tax cut is set, this is the payroll tax cut, it is set to expire on December 31st. Ending the tax break is going to cost you about $1,000 a year. Remember, this is on the first $110,000 of income for everybody, which is most people. Ending it is going to cost you about $40 a paycheck, or about $80 a month. The question is, can you do without it? Can you do without it? How much does that money mean to you? I submit it means a lot. Then let's move on, folks, because we're going to Wall Street, where they have done it again, folks. The 1%ers are still occupying our economy and occupying our wallets. It is absolutely unbelievable. You may be broke, but trust me, folks, Wall Street, the ones that are still working, Wall Street is not. While you're being laid off due to record greed and the policies of Wall Street, guess what? Wall Street's getting a pay raise. They didn't even keep their salary the same, folks. Hey, up it. They raised their own pay raise, folks. Get this. According to an analysis from the Public Accountability Initiative, the compensation data of 7 big banks, and for the first 3 quarters of 2011, folks, get this, it is on track to exceed 2010 levels. Can you believe that? It will likely total 156, billion bucks, folks. That is a 3.7% increase from 2010. And yes, folks, it does break the record. They just don't care, okay? That Goldman Sachs, I don't even want to call it what I really want to call it, because they're just like a demon to me. But the Goldman Sachs, those employees are going to take home $362,862 on average. That's right, folks. That's the compensation they're taking home on average. And that is compared, just so you know, to the U.S. median income of $26,364. But that, folks, is your problem, not theirs. They don't really care. All they do is occupy your wallet and your bank account. And you should know this, folks. The financial services industry, well, it lost more than 200,000 jobs this year. Just think, all those 200,000 people could have still been working, could have been stimulating the economy and helping America to get stronger. But nope, in their pocket, folks. That's what you talk about. I feel like I'm occupied, okay? Now, we know the global slowdown is everywhere, and so much of it is due to the greed and policies of Wall Street right here in the United States. But we're going to jump over and take a look at what's going on in Ireland. The Irish, who have to declare bankruptcy, folks, they are fleeing to the United Kingdom to do it. They call them bankruptcy tourists, if you can believe that. They flee to the UK to escape the very harsh bankruptcy laws there in Ireland, where it can take up to 12 years to go through bankruptcy, whereas in the UK, it only takes a year. This is very important because there are 300,000 Irish mortgage holders who are now in negative equity. Their property values have declined 50 to 60%. In business news, BP, we know what straight shooters they are. BP is getting out of the solar business after 40 years. I personally thought they were so committed to better energy and to just, investing and helping to bring this energy thing to fruition. But it's slightest amount of competition, and they're like, no, we'll put our money elsewhere. That would be in our pockets, okay? BP's solar business was once regarded as one of the flagship alternative energy divisions, but no more. Mike Petrucci, the chief executive of BP Solar, said this, and I quote, he says, over the last 6 months, we have realized that we simply can't make any money from solar, unquote. Again, folks, it is all about the cash money for them. Apparently, in the solar industry, there is a glut in supply and growing price competition from low-cost solar panel manufacturers in China. BP insists it is still committed to alternative energy, but will now rely more on wind and biofuels. At least they'll rely on that until they become too costly. In business news, more in business news, this time we go to Israel, where a small Israeli startup called Extra 3D, EXTR 3D, has a nifty new device that it's working on. It's using gesture recognition software or motion capture technology. It's going to allow you to flick through the channels and adjust the volume on your TV using only your hand. No more pressing button, folks. That's going to be over about this time next year. Also in international news, the husband, and we're going to crime now. The husband of a young Bangladeshi woman who is accused of cutting off her fingers. You may ask why. You probably want to know. Well, reportedly because she began a college course without his permission. She says fingers are not darling. She's going to school, but pay attention to that, folks. It's domestic violence against educated women. In entertainment news, we are sorry to report the death of former Venezuelan beauty queen Eva Ekbo. We did tell you about her breast cancer. Now she has passed away. She did die of breast cancer at the age of 28, leaving a very small child behind. She died in a Houston, Texas hospital. She was crowned Miss Venezuela in 2000 and was also a Miss Universe finalist. We're so sorry to hear about that. In sports, you heard the name Craig James. He's running for the Republican nomination for the U.S. Senate in Texas. Yeah, pay attention. He used to call college football games on ESPN. He also played football at Southern Methodist University, SMU, in the 80s. But get this, SMU got into trouble for violations which occurred while James was in school, though he was never directly implicated, and he has denied any involvement. Okay, also, he reportedly was part of some drama that eventually led to the firing of Texas Tech coach Mike Leach. That was while James' son played for the Red Raiders. Leach, we should tell you, is currently suing James and ESPN. He sounds like a really good Republican candidate to me because he's got a whole bunch of negative drama around him. All right, at least alleged, but we know he is being sued. In local news from Brooklyn, thank goodness they held this man without bond. I'm talking about the Brooklyn man police say confessed to setting that elderly woman on fire in the elevator. Some crazy people out here. All right, of course, she was burned to death. Well, his name, we're talking about the alleged perp, it's Jerome Isaac. He's 47 years old, and he was also burned during the attack. Unfortunately, he didn't die. A surveillance video showed a man spraying the woman with fuel, then tossing a Molotov cocktail into the elevator, then spraying her again, just in case. She was burned to death in the elevator. Police say that Isaac then turned himself into police and confessed. The police say the reason he did it, he said that they said he was upset because she didn't pay him for various odd jobs he performed for her. From the Chicago area, Cicero, Illinois, to be exact, an 18-year-old man is dead. Police say they think his own mother stabbed him. Apparently, the 18-year-old beat the woman and his 14-year-old brother. Police were called to the house, and when they got there, they found Mom with blood on her face, a torn and bloodied shirt on. She had blood on her chest, police say, pants, left hand, and socks. The young man, the police say, hit his mother, and then, as they say, it was on, and he ended up dead, okay? And finally, listen, this is another story before we get to the end, from Emmington, Illinois, where a neighbor says she saw an Illinois woman shoot her 10-month-old baby before apparently killing herself. Police say the witness says that she was watching the woman. The woman was huddled over her 10-month-old baby on the ground as if she had dropped her. The next thing she saw the woman point a gun and shoot at the baby. It's unbelievable. Well, it turns out it was a big murder-suicide, and in all, 5 people, including 2 children and the baby, were killed in this murder-suicide situation. A semi-automatic pistol was recovered at the scene. And then finally, he got married, left the wedding hotel, and jumped off a bridge to his death. You did hear me correctly. That's what police say is true of Bronx groom Fernando Brazier, 28 years old. He hurled himself into the Harlem River, they say. They say he left a note saying he simply couldn't take it anymore and to take care of the kids, and he left his wedding ring in the envelope. What was going on there? Anyway, folks, those are your stories. Have yourself a wonderful day. We'll see you on Friday with more stories. Have a good day. I'm Carol Angela Davis. Follow me on Twitter at Carol Angela D. Have a good day.